Question 31. Wyatt can husk at least 12 dozen ears of corn per hour and at most 18 dozen ears of corn per hour. Based on this information, what is a possible amount of time in hours that it will take Wyatt to husk 72 dozen ears of corn? This question is not really hard, but it requires that you comprehend what it's saying. Let's go back to the first sentence. We have Wyatt can husk at least 12 dozen ears of corn per hour. At least 12 dozens. That means we can say at his least most productive hour, he can do 12 dozen ears of corn. Let's just write that out. We have 12 dozen ears of corn is equivalent to 1 hour at his least most productive hour. Then the second part of the sentence is, and at the most, let's say at the most productive hour, he can do 18 dozen ears of corn per hour. So we have, on the other side, 18 dozen ears of corn is equivalent to 1 hour at his most productive hour. We go to the second sentence. Based on this information, what is the possible amount of time in hours it will take Wyatt to husk 72 dozen ears of corn? That's putting into consideration his least most productive hour and his most productive hour. So let's go with his least most productive hour first. We have, when he can do 12 dozens per hour, how many hours will it take him to do 72 dozens? That's equivalent to the number of hours it will take him to do 72 dozens at his least most productive hour. Let's name it X. We can find X first before we take into consideration the number of hours it will take him to do that same 72 dozens at his most productive hour. At this point, we can cross multiply, or we can simply say if he's doing 12 dozens per hour, that means at his least most productive hour. To calculate how long it will take him to do 72 dozens, we can go for the first hour, he does 12. For the second hour, he does another 12. That adds up to 24. For the third hour, he does another 12. That's 24 plus 12. That will give you 36. And you go on till you get to 72. Or you can simply just cross multiply. You can have 12 times x on one side. 12 times x equals, on the other hand, we have 72 times 1. 72 times 1. 12 times x on the left is 12x equals 72 times 1 is 72. Since we're looking for x, which is the number of hours it will take him to do 72 dozens at the rate of 12 dozens per hour, you divide both sides by 12. 12 will cancel 12. You'll be left with x equals 72 divided by 12 will give you 6. So at the rate of 12 dozens per hour, it will take him 6 hours to do 72 dozen ears of corn. So you have 6 hours. We go to his most productive hour, which is doing 18 dozen ears of corn per hour. How long will it take him, or how many hours will it take him to do 72 dozens? Let's name the number of hours y. So we have 72 dozens, or 72 dozen ears of corn is equivalent to y. We name the number of hours y. Since he's doing 18 dozens per hour, you can say for the first hour, he does 18. For the second hour, it's 18 plus 18 or 18 times 2 and so on. Or you can just simply cross multiply. You can say y times 18 on the left. So you have y times 18 equals, on the right, you have 72 times 1. That's 72 times 1. Y times 18 is 18y equals 72 times 1 is 72. We divide both sides by 18. 18 cancels 18. Y equals 72 divided by 18 will give you 4. So at his most productive hour, when he's doing 18 dozens per hour, it will take him 4 hours to do 72 dozen ears of corn. So you have 4 hours. We now see that we have two answers. That at the rate of his least most productive hour, it will do 72 dozen ears of corn in 6 hours. And at his most productive hour, which is 18 dozens per hour, it would husk 72 dozen ears of corn in 4 hours. Answer to this question, which is the possible amount of time in hours it will take Wyatt to husk 72 dozen ears of corn, is between, or we can say from 4 to 6 hours. So we have an answer as from 4 hours to 6 hours. Hope you understand.